Hi everybody, Martyn at Flicking Feathers again today, and I'm tying a wee updated version of my Biot bug, right? Biot Baetis. It's a really good wee fly, great wee nymph, very useful all year round, and I've just updated it, made it a bit more durable. Definitely worth having in your box. Now, as always, I'll put a materials list in the description, along with a link to the Patreon page for anybody that wants to support the channel. That'll also get you entered into the giveaways for all the flies tied in the channel. Right, I'm currently putting this river box together. Right, that'll be the next one. So I've got my hook and my vise. It's a 5045 jig force, size 16. And on here I've got a 2.8mm copper bead. Obviously you can adjust the size of the bead, suit yourself. You can change the colour. I mean, this is a kind of platform of a fly rather than a specific pattern, I would say. And I'm running on here some Uni 80 and fluorescent fire orange. Now I'm just going to make a wee tag here at the back, up and down a couple of times to get that colour, because the black nickel hook kind of does darken it a bit. You need to get a couple of layers. Now I'll just come to the front and I'll just lock my bead. Right. I just hold it and batter some wraps on. You might need to come back a wee bit to taper that to stop the thread slipping. But that's it. I'm going to put a whip finish on it. And then I'm going to varnish my tag. Right, you could use like UV resin, but I much prefer the varnish. I know that when I varnish this, I take the varnish further up, so it'll be what's under the body, and down onto the back of the hook, and just make sure everything's covered. And I know that'll absorb, it'll shrink when it dries, and it'll soak in, and it'll never lift off the thread, right? When you're doing wee tags like this with UV resin, it can lift. I mean, the thin UV resin can lift if there's any place that water can get under it. And what happens is it turns white. It lifts up, it turns white, you can't see anything. Right, so I've just got my tag ready, just picked up one that's ready to go, and this is the other thing, right? The UV resin's not really any quicker, right? Because I don't need to sit here and cure it. Just do all the tags. By the time you get to the, say you're doing a dozen flies, right? Or whatever, 10. Do all the tags. By the time you finish the tags, the first one's ready to go, right? You don't need to be curing resin. You just put it in the box and come back and finish the fly. Right, so just coming back with the same thread, and this is I've got a bigger bead on here. This is a 3.2. Right, it's just this one here, the tungsten slot it. I'm going to tie a slightly different colour. I think I had I don't remember actually. I tie these two colours. It's like a watery olive. It's PMD, Nature's Spirit, Goose Biot, right? Which is a nice wee kind of watery olive colour. And I also do them in this colour that I'm going to use now, which is a darker brown. So I've got my thread on. I'm going to come back to the tie-in point, right? The start of that tag. And for my tail, I'm not using like Coq de Leon. I've just got a Chinese cape here. It's fine, right? Nice kind of barred feather. Take a spade feather off it. Really nice, actually. They're really lovely. Get a few fibres, half a dozen, 8, whatever. Doesn't matter. Enough that it's seen, no too much that it's like a paintbrush. catch that in. It's a wee bit long, so I'll draw it in. I like a bit of shank length, something like that. Trim the waist, and then I never used to do this, but I've added a rib. This is extra fine wire, right? So it's very, very, very thin. It's like 0.1 of a millimetre. Catch that in, and then we'll just tidy up. Make a sort of smooth body, a smooth underbody. So I take one of these, right? I don't know what the colour name of this is, but it's quite a dark brown, but obviously the inside of the Biot's a bit lighter, which is what gives you that nice ribbed effect. So you've got a choice. You can either put a smooth body on or a ridged body. I like a ridged body, so for these I'm going to tie this in with a notch down. Right, you see on this side of the Biot where I've stripped it for the skin, the notch is in the bottom, and this side's perfectly flat. Right, so my leading edge will be smooth and my rear edge will have the fuzzy ridge. Right, if I tie it the other way, I'll get, obviously the leading edge will be the ridged edge, so it'll be flattened every time with the next turn. You decide what you like, basically. I would say the colour is stronger if you do it smooth, but you don't get the wee kind of fuzzy ridge. It's just whatever you prefer. I don't think it makes a great deal of difference to the fish. So I'll get that on, but before I wind it, actually, I'm going to put on a wee bit of head cement. Right, now I used to use super glue, but actually I find the head cement seems to be a bit better. Because it doesn't cure as fast, it seems to be absorbed slightly by the Biot. Now head cement's no use for like a non-absorbent material, right? Like, if you're going to put it below tinsel, that's a waste of time. Use a glue and stick the tinsel to the glue, but as I say, this will actually be absorbed. Now you should be able to see as I'm winding this, getting a nice wee segmented abdomen. We're going to come right up the front, up to the back of the bead and catch that off. Just 3 turns of thread's plenty to hold it. And you don't need to be too fussy because you're going to cover this with dubbing, but try to get in close. I'm just going to crush that with my thread, and then take your rib, right, and just put it, just let it follow the Biot. And I like to just come up sort of fairly evenly, I hope, between the ridges. If you wanted to, you could go quite close to the ridge and just sort of follow it round like you would in a, you know, like with a hackle on a traditional salmon fly or something. But anyway, so there you go. That's basically, it's covered, it's went right round every turn of the Biot, right? So unlike pheasant tail, for example, where you would just be essentially going between the strands and not really reinforcing it, this is sitting right on top. You know, the Biot's like that, and the wire's going right across the top of it, reinforcing it. Now to finish the fly, I'm just going to get a tiny pinch of ice dub, and this is just olive brown, right, which is not really that brown to be honest, but it's quite nice. I also might use the pheasant tail colour. I'm just going to build my thorax, too much. Just take that away. Yeah, you don't need it to be bulky. Now, a wee bit of varnish. Wind that in. What finish. And another one. Lovely. Just having a wee look all the way around, just making sure I've got my wee hot tag, my wee bit of flash, my wee hot collar. And just to make sure, belt and braces, just put a wee drop of that cement right on the back of the bead, just to protect the knot. And there you go, a great wee pattern, easy to tie, very, very effective, right? I know, I think it was Chris Wallage that got the original giveaway box with these, and he sent me quite a lot of pictures of it hanging out of trout and grayling. I certainly catch plenty of marrow on it in the spring here. The Yama may like it as well. So there you go. I hope that was useful. Hope you enjoyed it. If it was, remember to give me a thumbs up below, and I'll see you for another one. Tight lines, guys. Bye.